Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to my 12 Days of Christmas series. We are opening a gift every day from my 12 Days of Christmas in July gift box and then making a project with that gift. I'm so glad you've been following along. I have enjoyed this fun daily video series, sharing a project a day. Just real quick videos. It's been so much fun. If you've missed the others, make sure to check out the playlist. We have just a couple more days because today is day 10. And so our series is going to wrap up on Friday, August 5th. It's not too late. I actually have a couple extra gift box stuff that I ordered mistakenly. And so if you're interested in getting all of the 12 Days of Christmas in July gifts, then check out the link in the video description. I'll be doing this again in November with a new daily video series starting December 1st. I can't wait. This is always so much fun. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here. Have you opened up day 10's gift yet? Are you ready to see inside? This is a little hint. And maybe not if you haven't looked at the catalog very closely, but this is the project that we're going to make today. And we're going to use the gift on this card. This card has caught my eye. I'm going to show it to you in a second. But before I do that, let's unveil magic of TV. Today's gift is the Snowfall Accents Puff Paint. This is actually a returning fave. It first came out in 2019. It's essentially just puff paint. So it creates what looks like snow. And so here's the card that I have been wanting to make. It's on page 22 of the July through December 2022 Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. This one here. And I love this penguin. The penguin is another returning fave. And so this is a stay simple or step it up card. Okay, we got really simple here, stepped up just a little bit and stepped up a whole lot over here. Leave a comment and let me know which one is your stamping style. Are you more a clean and simple, quick and easy kind of stamper, or do you like to step it up? Or do you really like to go all out and do all the things on your card? Well, today we're going to make the going all out card. We're going to do that little border with the puff paint and play around. And let's see, Carolyn's question, can you use the puff paint with Fun Flock as well? I don't really know what the Fun Flock is, so I'm not sure how to answer your question, Carolyn, but I am using some flacked paper here. This is the Specialty Shimmer Vellum, and this is a 12 by 12 pack that comes with 6 different sheets, and it has 3 that are flacked designs that are already on the Shimmer Vellum. There's snowflakes, and then the same designs with the iridescent foil. So I'm going to use this pattern with the flock design today. The original card has some polka dot paper from the Subtles designer paper pack, but I don't have that paper pack. So we're going to use this instead. I think it's going to add some nice texture there. So we have a little flocking. I don't know if that's the kind you were talking about, but we do have some flocking on this card. And so we're going to use the puff paint, and then the way we use it is we heat it up with the heat tool to get it to puff. I've done a little bit of prepping ahead of time of some of the pieces that we're going to need. This Penguin Place stamp set has a coordinating penguin punch, and you might remember it from last year. You might have it from last year, but it did carry over. So if you don't have it yet, you can still get this one. So that's what I was doing before I started the video. I did some punching of the feet and the body. So we've got this is the white part, and this is the gray part that I've punched out, and then the feet as well. And so I did a little stamping ahead of time. I wanted to keep the pieces apart so you could kind of see what they look like. Do you guys have the Penguin Place bundle from last year, or maybe you already got it this year? I just think this penguin is the cutest. I love him so much. I'm so glad we get another year of playing with the penguin. I'm going to use the glue dots to adhere the feet to the punched out penguin. In the other versions of this card, I think they did stamping and punching instead of using the layers like this is. So you can just use the stamped image and then you can punch out the whole body. That would be this one here. And so this would be what the gray layer is. So you wouldn't use that middle white piece. And you could also stamp the feet directly on the white part of the image. You wouldn't need to necessarily punch them, but I kind of like that. I used Smoky Slate and Pale Papaya for this card. I also stamped out some Sweet Sorbet hat and scarf, and so there's not a die or a punch. I'm just going to fussy cut these, but they're pretty easy to cut. And I think these colors are so pretty together. I didn't take the time to look up the colors that were used on the catalog sample. I just kind of guessed, but I think I guessed pretty well. You can use the project supply list if you're looking for the exact materials used on a particular card. Oh, hello, Dolores. I'm so glad you guys are joining today. This has been such a fun series to share projects with you every day and kind of a supplement to my regular videos. So if you're not already, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on more card making videos, project paper crafting videos, even when we're done with our 12 Days of Christmas series. There's much more fun to be had here on the channel. So, all right. I think we got our penguin together. I'm just going to glue this down, the scarf, and I'm not sure the best way to get that on there. I think I'm going to, when I put the penguin on the card, I think I'll figure it out then. I used the layering dioramas the layering diorama frames to cut out both the blue piece and the smaller white piece. It's just a smaller one. And then I use the painted texture embossing folder. Again, I just did what was on the catalog sample. So I love that it adds just a little bit of texture, kind of makes it look like ice on the card. So our card's going to come together. It's going to be so much fun. And then we're going to embellish with some ribbon. But before we do all that, the best part is this fun little the puff paint. So let's do that. I haven't used this in a couple years since it first came out, but if I remember correctly, all you do is you put it where you want it, and then you heat it up and it puffs. So let's take a look at our inspiration card again. Not that we have to do it exactly, but it looks so good in the catalog. Ooh, that is really drippy. So I do love how it's not perfect, right? And I think when it starts puffing up, we'll get that way. So a little bit thicker here, a little bit thinner there. And I'm just going to kind of go along the edge and a little bit up here. This is kind of fun. You know, I really should have tried this ahead of time instead of doing it while I was live. Sometimes I just fly by the seat of my pants. So hopefully this all works out. It's kind of more watery than I was expecting it to be. Hopefully I did try to shake it a little bit. Okay, I think we got some nice puff paint action going on. And you know, we can always add more. So we're putting on the liquid, then we're going to take the heat tool and we're going to heat it up. It's hard to see the comments, so hopefully no one tried to warn me I was doing it wrong. Hopefully, because I already got it on there. But let's see. I think we're just going to heat it. You could use your tweezers to hold the paper, but this is pretty big. I think I can get the parts that I need to. I think we're getting there. It's definitely taking a little bit longer than embossing powder. But I see it starting to puff up a little bit. Maybe I need to use some more. This is definitely a little bit messier and unpredictable, which is usually not my kind of stamping. Do you guys like to use stuff like this to decorate your cards and embellish? I feel like it is not thick enough, maybe. You can kind of see that puffing up. Uh-oh. Maybe I am doing it wrong. Judy says it needs to dry first before we use the heat tool. That certainly would help it. Ooh, that's getting hot. Oh, Carol says, have you had it a while? It doesn't work well if it's old. You know, I just got this. This one's brand new, so I don't think that's the issue. It could be that we need to let it dry a little bit better first. Let's see. Molly says, I just saw someone use it the other day. They put clear embossing powder before the heat, and then it won't smash down. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that one puffed really nicely. Look at that. So maybe I should read the directions. Does it say, oh, I'm peeling the whole thing off. I can tell there's a layer, but I don't think it's supposed to all come up. Shake well before using, apply a thin line, then heat with a heat tool to puff the paint. So I don't think we necessarily need to let it dry. I'm trying to shake it really good. Lynn, I'm not an affiliate for Scan and Cut. I'm not familiar with that product. Trying to look at your comments. Yeah, I'm trying to look at the directions, Judy. Well, I did. So the label looks like it peels some more, but I think I got to see what I needed to. Well, this is not really the puff I was going for. So I'm going to just go back and add some more and kind of see if we can get a little bit more going on here. And make that a little bit more robust. Okay, so just a thicker layer. And we're nice and hot now, so hopefully this will go a little bit faster. I tried to shake it up in between, and I feel like it was a little bit thicker and not so runny. The first time I put it on, it seemed like it was a little bit runny. So make sure you shake your bottle really well before you use it. This is probably going to end up being too much puff. Oh, it's good to experiment. I'm so glad you guys are along for the ride with me. That's looking fun. I love this little puff action going on. It kind of reminds me of like those little crystal growing kits, you know, we used to get as kids, where you'd like make up the mixture and you'd hang the string in there and then it would kind of grow and it would be bumpy and not always exactly perfect. I think this is better. So make sure you shake your bottle really well and then kind of play around with how much you want to stick on there and how much snow. I was worried about going too close to the edge, but I'm looking now at the sample and there's like a little room and a little line. So I think they did it about the same as me. I didn't want it to be spilling over the edge and dripping. Oh, this is so fun. Look at that paint puff up. Oh, I love it. So this actually, the puff paint in this catalog is pictured with the Storybook Gnome Suite. And you can really add some fun accents to that designer paper. I'll show you some of those catalogs. or those catalogs. I'll show you some of those projects when we're done heating this. Last little section. It's almost like magic, just like with embossing powder. Like all of a sudden it just starts turning and puffing up. And then you know you're done. So I think if you allow it to dry first, it just doesn't take as long for it to puff. But the bottle did not say that you had to allow it to dry first. So it does work. It does work if you just work with the heat tool right away, but it'll probably go faster if you do it, if you let it dry. Who's got time for that? I'm an impatient stamper. All right, here's the Storybook Gnome suite. And so there's the puff paint right here. And so you can see how they've added it like a little snowy path here. And on that frame art, they've got some of the puff paint on there as well. Well, let's finish up our card because I think we got all the pieces that we need. So we're going to first do... first we're going to put on the shimmer vellum, and normally I would be careful about using regular adhesive behind the vellum because you will be able to see it. However, because the frame is going to cover up the edges, I'm going to just go ahead and use regular adhesive all the way around, and then the frame will cover up any, actually I don't think you can see the adhesive that well. I think because the vellum is shimmer and not so transparent, it is a lot easier to cover up or to hide that adhesive. Okay, I think this works with some dimensions. So let's add some Stampin' Dimensionals under our die cut frame. Doesn't that snow look fun? I like the way that turned out. I want to give this lots of support, so I'm going to do them in the corners, and then also I'm going to do Stampin' Dimensionals in the center of each of the sides, just to make sure that this is well supported and isn't sagging. That would be really sad if we had a sagging frame on our card. So this is going to go directly over the vellum, and my pieces are just a little bit smaller than 4 inches by 5 1/4. So the blue piece is like 4 1/8 by 3 7/8 inch by 5 1/8. So just like a little bit smaller than the regular one. Oh, I just love that layering. Okay, now this is going to go on the inside here, and we're going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals both on the penguin and on the iceberg that he's sitting on. So let's add that. I'm trying to think which way I want that to go. Definitely this way. Okay. And then the little hat, we're going to do with a little mini Stampin' Dimensional. Let's find the minis. I have a whole basket full. And I always end up pulling out every single sheet looking for the minis. Okay, there. Perfect. Right over his head. And then this is going to go on the card with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And he will truly look like he is floating in the icy waters. Oh, so cute. Oh, what happened to her hat? Oh, I hadn't peeled off that thing. That's why it didn't stay. Okay, looking good. Now the original project had some heat embossing. I just used basic gray ink on the Season's Greetings, and then they used the iridescent trim, which is kind of big and bulky, and I thought I didn't want to deal with that in such a small piece. So I just cut some of that glittered white organdy ribbon And I think it brings in a little bit of shine. I think it's just what we need. So I'm going to put this down with some adhesive in the corner. And then I'll add the greeting with a Stampin' Dimensional. Oh my gosh, this card is so stinking cute. Okay, one last touch. We're using the adhesive backed seasonal sequins, and this comes in 4 colors. We have gold and white, and then sweet sorbet and some of the green. And so the original inspiration project uses the green sequins, and I kind of like that splash of color. So we're gonna do the same thing. I'm looking at the sample as a guide because they already got it figured out, right? We're going to use 5 of them. And I'm going to just, oh, I love that. I say that I love that and then I peel it up. I do love it. I just want to tweak it. I was trying to trust their positioning, but then I just wanted to do my own thing. I have to be careful because I'm getting too many sequins on here, I think. Okay, let's stick with that. That was 5. That's what I had. I was just trying to mess with it. There's our finished card. What do you think? I love the way it turned out, and even though I'm not always so fussy with my card, I think the super stepped up version of this one is the way to go, especially with that puff paint border. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's project and didn't suffer too much through my puff paint accent, getting that figured out. Thank you for tuning in today. Be sure to come back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time. I'll have another video featuring Day 11's gift from our 12 Days of Christmas in July gift box series. Until then, happy stamping, friends. See you next time.